Good morning, everyone. Today is Tuesday, November 24th, 2020 at 10 a.m. We're here to conduct the Hunt County Commissioners Court regular session. This meeting will be conducted by telephone or video conference in order to advance the public health goal of social distancing to slow the spread of the coronavirus, COVID-19. Due to the COVID-19 crisis, the governor's orders regarding social distancing and special rules issued by the state regarding open meetings, there will be no public access to the location described above, which is 2700 Johnson Street in Greenville, Texas. You can go to our website and huntcounty.net, and there's a public comment in that on that screen, and you're welcome to make comments to the court. We typically have a public testimony time during the court at the first of the meeting. We're going to postpone that till later in the meeting to give everyone time to respond to that tab. Any questions you have, you can address it by email or comment by an email. If you wish to speak to the court, you can leave us a phone number, and at the appropriate time we'll call you and you'll be able to talk directly to the court via the telephone. This time I'll call the meeting to order and ask Commissioner Martin to lead us in prayer, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance to our flags.
Our most gracious Heavenly Father, thank you for this day. Thank you for allowing us to come here and take care of the community business. We ask you to continue blessing this great country. Those that have lost loved ones, with you will comfort them, give them comfort. In Christ's name we ask all these things. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Thank you, everyone. Today we have present Commissioner Evans, Strait, Martin, and Harrison. I'm Judge Stovall presiding over the meeting. Commissioners, you have the minutes from November 10th and November 17th special session. I entertain a motion for approval of the minutes.
So move.
Second.
Got a motion and second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The motion carries. Again, we'll have public testimony later in the meeting. Please send us an email with a phone number or a comment, and we'll either call you back or read that comment. We'll go to new business. One, certificate of achievement for the County Investment Academy. Oh, excuse me, that's consent calendar. I would entertain motion for consent calendar.
So move.
Second.
Got a motion second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried. Then we'll go to the action items. Number one, resolution extending and or modifying the April 28, 2020 COVID-19 related resolution and social distancing guidelines to prevent the spread of COVID-19. Daniel Ray.
All right, in your packets, this is the first page. This resolution is exactly the same as the resolution that was passed last week at the special meeting, just with new dates. And so you can either pass it in the same form, or if you want to make any alterations to the courthouse appointment policy, now would be the time to do that.
Is this extended to the next Commissioners Court meeting, Daniel?
It does, to December 8th.
Okay.
I've heard nothing but good comments about what we're doing in the courthouse right now. Anybody heard anything different? You got anything different? You good? Everybody good? No other comments? I entertain a motion for approval action item number one.
So move.
Second.
Got a motion second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Action item number two, approve documents related to the Forestry Corporation election. Daniel?
Okay, for the past couple of weeks, we've been talking about, or past couple of meetings, talking about the Poetry Incorporation order. At the last meeting, regular meeting, there was a canvassing of the vote. There's been a vote canvassing on the other part of the background requirements for poetry down in Kaufman County. There was an overwhelming vote for it. However, we didn't do this order of incorporation at the same meeting as the canvassing because there were some issues related to the map and the location of the ETJ of Terrell. It appears as if Terrell did not have their current map on their website during this whole process from February through the summer when the election was called. Because of that, if you flip over to the third page, or well, the page after Exhibit A, which is a color map, there's a very small portion down at the bottom which affects apparently one house. And it has a item number K14 marked at the very southern end of this map. Part of that is in the Terrell ETJ. We've looked at their public records and their the history of their incorporation, and basically there were 4 separate properties that were annexed in March of 2020 and March of 2019. That were not on their official map. One of those extended the ETJ, pushing it out over into a small portion of that road. So there's several properties that are affected by that. The biggest impact is that under state law, it's illegal to incorporate any part of another city's ETJ without written permission. That would have to come from the city council of Terrell. That doesn't exist right now. The fact that they did not, apparently didn't update their map at the right time doesn't impact the Hunt County's obligation to not issue an order of incorporation that would incorporate into the ETJ. And so this, if you flip back to the actual order of incorporation, it's only a couple of pages long without the exhibits. The relevant part to address this problem starts at the bottom of page 1 in section 3. And so there's basically 2 relevant paragraphs, municipal boundaries and municipal ETJ paragraph. So what this says specifically is poetry is incorporated as with the coordinates on Exhibit A, which is Exhibit A starts with that color map, and then the 2 pages following that are lists of coordinates showing where those roads are that have been incorporated. But that it doesn't include any part of the ETJ of Terrell, and specifically that it doesn't include the parts of that K14 that are in Terrell's ETJ. And so basically if you adopt this order this way, what it's going to do is cut the southern end of the both the ETJ and the city limits of the new town of Poetry off at the existing ETJ of Terrell. It's not marked on this map because that was we didn't have a surveyor go out and do it, but it will be fairly easy to determine exactly where that point is, which is going to have to be done by the appraisal district in Kaufman County so that they can determine how much of that land is going to be taxed as part of the city of Poetry. The second part is section number 4, the ETJ, because some of those properties pushed out the ETJ close to the new city of Poetry, but not didn't include any of the land that was actually incorporated. This paragraph basically says, again, that we're just following state law in that it's not the intent of the court for those ETJs to overlap because they can't under state law. And so effectively what this does is adopt the maps that were included as part of the election, but cuts off a small part of land that was to be incorporated, and then shortens the area for the ETJ control over on the southwest corner of the new city, or the corner to the southwest of the new city. So last court, Terrell's attorney came, Greg Schumpert, and he and I have discussed this. He's fine with this language. We've also discussed it with the Secretary of State Elections Division and TAC, neither of whom had any big problems with the way that we're doing this. Obviously, there is a state law requirement that we have to follow, and the county can only do what the state says it can do. And so we don't believe that there's any issues that are going to be long-term problems. The people whose house would be cut off if you adopt the order as written don't want to be cut out. They've made that very clear. They wanted to be part of the City of Poetry and have been involved in the process of trying to get the incorporation done from the beginning. Unfortunately, we can't do anything about that. To the extent that they want to be in Poetry, they're going to have to talk with the Terrell City Council and convince them to allow Terrell's ETJ to have a little chunk taken out of it. And then the Town of Poetry, whenever they elect their council, they would have to then go through the process of notifying people and publishing things in order to annex the property. Because at this point, you can only annex, as of 2 years ago, cities can only annex property that falls into a very tiny, limited category, which is either property where the landowner has asked to be incorporated, or property that falls into a very tiny set of other things like chemical plants and things like that don't apply here. And so Tara Sankovich is here today. She wanted to talk for the citizen comment portion. I told her that the Terrell City Attorney had come last time and wanted to give her an opportunity. She's sort of representing some of the people that have been putting this together. She's been our point of contact during this application and election project. And so I can answer any questions that you have about any of the technicalities or the documents themselves. Or if you don't have any questions for me, then you can open it up for public testimony. Yes, sir.
I have a question referenced, I believe it's about, the second Poetry Incorporation, Hunt County, Texas, and it talks all these roads.
Yes.
All the roads. Also, the next page thereafter.
Yes.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, they are incorporating all the roads also?
Well, all the roads that are listed here. Not
Yes.
all the roads. If you look at the map, there's quite a few roads in the middle that are not incorporated. The town itself will not look like most city maps that you see, which is a big solid blob.
That's right.
This is kind of a spider-webbed shape. There are other cities that have been incorporated like this, especially here recently. Incorporation of cities is such a rare thing that they all happen very differently from one another. The last one we had in Hunt County was about a decade ago. It was Union Valley, and they had all their property owners together, and so theirs doesn't look like this, but
Right.
several others since then have looked like that. But no, it doesn't include all the roads, just the ones that are color-coded in orange and green.
Daniel, what's the steps after, if we vote for this today, what's the steps going forward for Poetry to become a town?
Well, Poetry will be a town if this is adopted today. The initial step is the application, then the election, then the canvassing, then the filing of the order. After that, if this court approves that, then it will go in the public records, and there will be a lot of steps after that the City of Poetry is going to have to do. They're going to have to elect their council, and they're going to have to do all the things that you do when you start a city, like looking at tax rates and determining whether or not they're going to control their ETJ, and a couple of different things that are special things that only happen in the first 6 months to 1 year. And then on our side at the county, there's not going to be much more for the county itself to do. The appraisal district is going to have to go through here and figure out what to tax and all of that, to the extent that they adopt a tax rate with that's more than 0. And so that's going to be pretty complicated, but that'll be done at the CAD, and then Kaufman County CAD will do the same thing down there.
Is there a time frame for them to get city council and set all that?
There is. I don't know what that is. I know that it's within the first few months, but I haven't looked back at that. I think that the election for that is a special election, but I think it's held at the next general election date, which is in May. I could be wrong about that. It could be an earlier time period, but that's not anything that I've looked at.
So if, assuming we're gonna vote for this, and there will become a town or city, what will be their fiscal year? Will that be something they determine, or is it determined based on when it's created, or how do they, calendar year, or?
Yeah, I don't know. That's the answers to that are in the local government code, and frankly, I've just never dealt with that. I did come in and work with the city of Union Valley, but it was after they'd already set all that up the first year. And so I'm not sure if they did a fiscal year that was just a shortened time period through the end of October, or through the beginning of October, or if they can choose. But that's something that they would have to, I mean, they've already been talking with a municipal attorney, several different municipal attorneys to help lead them through that process. But I don't know what the answer to that question is right now.
When they're gonna have expenses and all, they gotta get revenue, so I'm just curious how that was gonna affect. They have to have an election. If they ask us to do it, then somebody gotta pay for the election
Sure.
again, so.
Yeah, I
Curious.
unfortunately, I don't know the answer to that. We
It
can
doesn't
certainly.
change my decision, I'm just
Sure.
curious how this is gonna work and what, potentially that we might have to have some kind of agreement with them
Yeah.
to conduct their elections, and as encourage other entities, how we get reimbursed or whatever for it.
Yeah. Well, I remember the last time that happened was when Union Valley came in. One of the people who was working on the incorporation donated, I think, $5,000 to the city. And that $5,000 covered all of those initial expenses.
Ah.
There's not a pot of money here that I know of, but I generally haven't spoken to them about legal issues for various different reasons. But that's something that they'll need to figure out very, very quickly.
Right. Commissioners, any other questions?
Have one more.
Yes, sir.
I'd like to verify this. These roads here, you're saying, yes, Hunt County will still have some roads, but these roads that are incorporated will be maintained by the city of Poetry.
If they have been incorporated into their city, then the answer is yes.
Good enough. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Sarah, you got a comment?
I don't know. So you still gotta go in there and get those
Do you, hang on just a second. Does she need a mic? That one doesn't
The
work.
little one.
Sorry. Get you hooked up right.
You got it?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Actually, it's for the internet, so they won't be able to hear you.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
We're good.
Okay, we're good. Okay, my name is Tara Sinkovich. I am a business owner. I own a manufacturing plant. I also own a retail store in Poetry. So I'm owner and manager of that as well as a ranch owner in Poetry, and have been for 25 years. With that said, a few of us have been spearheading this movement. We, as Poetry citizens, we do desire our own autonomy. We've been seeing some things that we would like a say in over our area. And so I can speak a little bit to some of the questions you were referring to Daniel earlier. As you can imagine, this is all new. So it's kind of like drinking information from a fire hose. So I have been consulting with numerous attorneys from the TML as well as outside of the TML So we are, we do have to elect our council in May, is what I've been told, at the general election time. We can either consult with the county, or we've been told that we can have a third party outside do our election for us. So, but because we don't have any revenue, that will be an issue that we'll have to figure out. So I know that Kaufman County already tried to send me a bill for the previous election. But that was on them. But going forward, we will have to certainly, we will certainly have to figure that out, and we'll be looking at different options that way. And we'll be discussing that, I'm sure, with you further. As far as we are currently working on our town hall, I'm pretty excited about things transpiring there. It's been all donations and donated time, and it's coming along very nicely. So as far as the vote in the ETJ issue, I assure you that none of us wanted to cross over Terrell's ETJ line. We looked at the state information as well as the Terrell website, and it was not updated. We in no way, shape, or form wanted to cross over their ETJ. In fact, we tried to stay 163 feet away from their ETJ, but unbeknownst to us, they had an outdated map. And so, unfortunately, there is one, Ron and Sharon Burchett, their home is now the line crosses through their bedroom. So they have, of course, voiced their desire to be in the town of Poetry versus the town of Terrell, but we understand that the state mandate, and we have our map maker amongst us, and that would be an easy fix. As far as pushing that line back, it's not that big a deal for her. And then as far as getting the modified survey, I don't anticipate too many difficulties there either. So.
Any questions? Thank you very much.
Okay.
Commissioners, I entertain a motion for approval, action item number 2.
So moved.
Second.
A motion second, all in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, motion carries. Action item number 3, updated Hunt County investment policy and all related resolutions. Mr. Brittany?
Good morning. What you've got in your packets is, I know it can seem like a lot. We've updated quite a bit, but it is just that. It's an update. We're just updating the policy that we currently had in place to a more current format, which is complies with the PFIA, the Public Funds Investment Act. It's a lot of language, but all of the language does come out of the Public Funds Investment Act, just directly from that. I consulted with a few other counties, neighboring counties and comparable counties who follow this exact same thing. What's the same from that's another thing. We are not changing any of our investing policies. We are just updating the policy itself. We're not changing the way that we invest our money or anything at that point. We're just updating the policy to update the language to match the Public Funds Investment Act. What is the same is the county judge, the county auditor, the county treasurer acting as co-investment officers, with the county treasurer performing all of the investments. Like I will be the one actually making the investments. But we consult together as co-investment officers, which is what the previous policy was as well. Also on, trying to look there, whenever you get to page 4, that has the authorized investment types, which is very extensive. Those, like I said, came directly from the Public Funds Investment Act. Along with Judge Stovall and County Auditor Bruce Ballard, we decided to, the only thing that we omitted that are authorized investments under Public Funds Investment Act, that we decided to omit from our policy are Hunt County would not be investing in mortgage-backed securities or Israel bonds. So those are authorized. We can, and they're authorized by PFIA, but Hunt County we just chose to omit those two authorized investments. Other than that, like I said, it just is updating the language. It's a little more extensive than our 4-page policy that we had in place before, but it was very outdated, and we are just bringing this forward. Currently, we are investing general operating funds, road and bridge funds, interest and sinking funds, and local government investment pools. Currently, we are investing in Logic, Techstar, and TexPool. We have 2 general operating funds, CDs, that are secured at Inwood Bank and Commerce. We just had one mature in October that we renewed. Very low interest rates right now, which I'm sure y'all see that whenever the treasurer's reports come out on your money. It kind of stinks whenever I have to enter those investment things on the report because they're so low right now. But we were able to secure the CD at 0.6%, which is significantly better than the pools are doing right now. So I'm hoping the next one matures in February. Hopefully we'll be able to get the same interest rate on that as well. Like I said, those are our current investments. That's how we have been investing our money. We're not changing that at this point. But this is just updating the policy to guide us further forward.
Thank you, Brittany. Any questions?
I want to tell you something. I appreciate your whole office. Y'all do good work, and I do appreciate the members of your board that are taking care of us.
Yes.
The judge and the auditor, we appreciate y'all.
Yeah, thank you,
Y'all
Philip.
do good. Thank you.
Any other questions or comments? Thank you, Brittany.
Thank you.
If not, I'll entertain a motion for approval, action item number 3.
So moved.
Second.
Motion second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Action item number 4. Interlocal agreement by and between Hunt County and Lubbock County, Texas, acting through the Regional Public Defender Office, Local Government Corporation for capital cases, previously known as the Regional Public Defender Office. Substantive terms and conditions of the agreement, including fees charged to the county, are the same as the current interlocal agreement. Entertain motion for approval, action item number 4.
So moved.
Second.
Motion second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Action item 5, the fiscal year 2020 statement of financial position of Hunt County Community Supervision and Corrections Department. Entertain motion for approval.
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Action item number 6, naming a private drive/easement, private road 4316 in precinct 4 due to 911 addressing. This driveway/easement is off of County Road 4315, is not county maintained. Commissioner Harrison, got any?
Well, Kathy and Brian was working on this. This is part of the house that we talked about, the family that split the 24.5 acres up. This is given, since we're doing this other address, this is gonna give them the chance to actually, or for us to do a private road through there for 911 address.
This one that was buying adjacent property to the north of them, is that the same one? Where they already had a house
Yes.
built? And,
Yes.
yeah. Okay. All right, got it. Any
So I'll
questions?
make a motion for it.
Okay.
Second.
Got a motion second, any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. This time I'm gonna remind the public that you can go to huntcounty.net and look at our website, and there's a banner there that says public comments. Please, if you have any comments, send us an email or send a phone number where we can call you back at an appropriate time. We'll be doing that shortly. Okay, action item 7, upgrade of County Road 1093 from dirt to rock, approximately 3,130 feet in precinct 1. Money is in escrow.
I'll make a motion to approve this upgrade as the money is in escrow.
Second.
Motion second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Action item number 8, the final plat of Snooks Corner in precinct 1.
I need to abstain from this. and Mr. Toole will be speaking on this.
Okay,
I make a motion that we accept this plat.
okay.
Brian's got one correction.
Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize.
A couple of minor adjustments on this plat. They're going to drop the addition off of the name. It's going to just be Snook's Corner instead of Snook's Corner Addition. And then on the east side of the property, on County Road 1037, the track did not go all the way out to the center line of the road, so they're going to write a separate track just to deed any interest that they may have in that section to the county, straighten out any right-of-way issues that we may have in the future.
Same thing we've been doing with several other plats. When the
Yes.
boundary line didn't go out to the center, we're making sure we're getting all the dedication that we need
Correct.
in case in the future there's a problem, we at least got that part covered.
That is it.
Anything else? Entertain a motion for approval
So
with
moved.
change of the name to Snook's Corner and the additional track being added to the legal description.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Got a motion and second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Let's see, this is action item number 9 for handle 9. We need to have a public hearing. I'm gonna open a public hearing at this time for a replat of approximately 2.02 acres of lot 19 Fort Longhorn in addition in Hunt County, Texas, and being all at certain lot, tract, or parcel land situated in the Amos Strickland survey, abstract number 941, Hunt County, Texas. More specifically, to create a 1.81 acre lot in the northwest corner of lot 19 to be known as Brito Estates, being a part of lot 19 Fort Longhorn in addition to Hunt County. Is there any public comments at this time? Daniel, we have any public comments?
Well, there's one person who's asking if they can ask a personal question. I just emailed back. Sorry. There's one person asking about a personal platting issue, and I just emailed back to ask if they want a very long email that they sent read into the record, or if they want to just have me get them in touch with Brian, but they haven't responded yet.
But nothing on this matter?
No.
Okay. If there's no comments on this matter, I'll close the public hearing to this.
Judge, if I may, can you bring your microphone in closer to your mouth?
Sure.
Thank you, sir.
I need to repeat any of that? Okay. All right, so we'll close the public hearing, so now we'll act on number 9, the replat of Brito Estates. Well, it's gonna be the replat of lot 19 Fort Longhorn addition, being a 1.81 acre tract cut out of the northwest corner of lot 19 and to be known as Brito Estates. Any comments? Entertain a motion of approval of the replat of Fort Longhorn into Brito Estates in precinct 2.
Make a motion, we approve what Bobby said.
I tried to say.
I agree.
Second.
Got a second, motion and second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. Action item number 10, the final plat of a replat of lot 3 Hideaway Estates, phase 2, precinct 3. Do we have a public hearing on this also? This time we'll open up the public hearing for anyone that makes a comment on the replat of lot 3 Hideaway Estates, phase 2. Daniel, any comments on that?
No.
No public
And
comments?
And I spoke with the HOA president of Hideaway Estates yesterday. He's comfortable with it. He's okay with it. All the notifications went out as usual. SRA has signed off on it for the septic, and the Lake Tawakoni P&Z recommended approval, and they've also signed the plat as well.
Okay.
May I ask a question in
Sure.
reference to that? They signed off on it. Do we need to approve their them signing off on it also?
They simply make a recommendation for approval
approval.
and leave it up to us.
Okay, so
Yeah.
at this point in time, we can go along and approve that also, you agree? From the recommendation.
Well, first of all, let me close the public hearing. At this time, the public hearing is closed. If all they're doing is recommending, we don't need to approve that they recommended the approval of us. You know, all we need to do is approve it. So I entertain a motion for the approval, action item number 10.
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion, second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. Action item number 11, the final plat of Barana Estates, however you say that word, in precinct 3. Somebody gets these creative names.
I think that's their last name.
Is it really? Well, they got creative last name.
Yes.
Entertain motion for approval.
I so moved.
Second.
Got a motion second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed. Motion carries. Accounts payable.
I'll make a motion, we pay the bills.
Second.
A motion second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed. Motion carries. Approval of line item transfers.
Make a motion to approve line item transfers.
Second.
Motion second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed. Motion carries. Approval of budget amendments.
Make a motion to approve budget amendments.
Second.
Motion second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed. Motion carries. Approval of payroll and personnel.
I make a motion, we approve payroll personnel.
Second.
Motion second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed. Motion carries. Daniel, they heard back from the lady on the public hearing, or the public comment?
No, I'm just gonna forward her email to Eric and to Brian. It's a flatting
Question.
not really a comment.
Okay, no other comments?
No.
Okay. This time, I'll enter, if there's nothing else before the court, I'll entertain a motion to go in executive session under items number
1 and
1 and 4.
So moved.
Second.
Motion second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. We're now in executive session at 11, let's say 43, 11:38 by my phone. Or 10:38, I'm sorry. 10:38. Okay, it's 11:01. We're back in regular session. Is there any other business? Is there anybody that's commenting before we get out of here?
No, the person I spoke about earlier is just gonna get in touch with Brian Cole.
Okay, all right. Anything else to discuss today? If not, I entertain a motion to
So moved.
adjourn.
Second.
A motion second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. We're adjourned at 11:01.